Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good, how you doing?
Good, good.
Against the light. Naku, marunong.
Oh, Chica. Let's Chica. Come on, let's go, Chica. Let's go, Chica.
This is right by the hotel.
Yeah, this is the central. This is Central City. This is.
Hi, puppy.
Ito yung Blackhawk. Ito, this is the map.
Good boy.
Welcome to Roy's last shot. They're closing October 19, unfortunately. But the lady is moving to Arizona. Tama ba yun?
Parang you don't know what to do
I
with the
know! Hindi ko alam eh.
mic. Ikaw.
A message for Barb and Roy. Roy and Barb. Kaya nakikialam na lang.
Barb?
What's that?
Barb! It's us! Visiting you. It's sad to say you're selling your place, but we're happy to meet Chica. Wait, let's go. Wait.
Let's go meet Chica.
Meet Chica. Chica is the host, and guess what she's doing? She's right there, sunbathing. Chica! Chica, what can you say? Are you okay? Oh, it's not food, Chica. Okay, so you just go sunbathing, Chica, okay? All right. Look at this awesome place. This is Barb. Barb! Say hello. Oh, no. Just say hello. No. Just say hello. Oh, there's Chica. Chica is up and about. That's Chica.
Greg's coffee and I'll be right back to take your order.
All right.
Anything to say, Mr. Badeo? Any message for Roy?
I'm just happy to glad to get everybody back up here. So
Yay!
yeah,
Lizelle.
awesome.
Oh, here we
Hello.
go. Here we go.
We are here at Lost Shot. Lost, is it? What is it? Taka. Okay, Last Shot. What is the name of the place? Roy's Last Shot.
Take one. Cut it.
Okay. Paano ba to? Basta magsasalita lang ako? Okay. Okay, everyone. Now we're touring you to a new place that we discovered here in Colorado. We're here at
Last Shot. Is it Royce? It says Last Shot, but this is a pretty cool place. Something for you to discover. And look at the whole
You have
place.
a limited time to discover.
Limited time to discover, but it's worth venturing out to this place and enjoy the food. They offer brunch, lunch, and dinner, and we are here just to enjoy. So we'll give you a review after this. Thanks.
Sa labas. Ito tayo sa labas. Maybe she's still in the restroom.
Street park, it also belongs to Glenwood Springs. It's interpretive, meaning it goes through the various points in time where the park has been populated, starting with the Native American area. And we have a Native American family that does the interpretation there, and everybody is in costume, and then it goes through the early pioneer stage, the log cabin, a little plot of land, and they grow fruits and vegetables there. And then they also have some buildings from the 1920s and 1950s there. So you can go in there and find out all about the history of the civilization as it appeared there in the ranch. All right, this big gray rock over here. Now this just shows how imaginative sometimes they were in naming rocks. What do you think the name of this rock is?
Elephant.
It's Gray Rock.
Gray rock.
It is. That's where this goes. Then we're coming around to
Does look like an
the
elephant.
Gateway Rocks. That gap there in between. You have South Gateway Rock on the left, North Gateway Rock on the right. You'll notice that some of these rocks are red and some of these rocks are white, some are gray, and that just depends on how much iron oxide was in their composition, what color they are. Now this will be one of the last views you get of our camels that are kissing. And then of course our white rock over here is called what? White rock, you got it, buddy. On top of it you'll see a rabbit though. Or chinchilla. One of the two. And then our bighorn sheep, they do like to come down in this area here and graze occasionally. I have not seen them all week though, and that's a little disappointing. I miss seeing them. But they're going to go up a little bit higher as fall gets here. So they're the largest herd of, oh yeah, now we're kissing a bunny.
Oh, yes.
See that? Kissing a little rabbit. Bighorn population here. I was saying that with you because a middle schooler showed that with me and I can't unsee it. The white streaks up on the rock, that's bird guano, and that's on purpose. That belongs to our prairie falcons and our great horned owls, is to mark their territory. So they let their little ones poop outside of where their nesting area is. We also get a lot of migratory birds. You can see some swallows and there's a white-throated swift. There's a seagull. Don't know where that one came from.
I saw that.
They don't nest in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then along the face here, you can see some climbing gear. This is the only face on this rock that you're allowed to climb with a permit. It's one of the most technical climbs in the park because it kind of leans outward. So that takes quite a lot of skill to be able to climb that whole thing. It's pretty popular. You can't climb in the garden without gear, without ropes and stuff like that, and permission. And I think you have to actually pay a nominal fee as well. And the park rangers have to check it out, and then you can climb. There are a few places where you can scramble a little bit up on some of the rocks, and I'll point that out. But don't try and climb any of these large rocks because if you get caught, the fine starts at $2,000. All right, coming around here, you want your cameras out. This is Grand View. And it is
Grand.
quite a grand view.
That is beautiful.
You got a couple of smaller vertical rocks down there. The one with the three together, that's our three graces. That's Faith, Hope, and Love. And then next to that is the cathedral spires. So you have the one on the left and then the one on the right there. Cathedral spires and the three graces. As we're coming around the corner here, you're going to take a look on well, maybe you aren't, but I'm pointing out the erosion that happens at the Garden of the Gods. This whole area looked kind of like that back in when the Native Americans were camping out here, and clear up until the 1920s. The whole area has been subject to flooding, and so there were some trees, some single seed juniper trees, and some pine trees, and some gamble oaks, and of course buffalo grass. And that was really about it. And then in the 1920s, during the Great Depression, Roosevelt sent out the Civilian Conservation Corps to plant a lot of the trees in here. In fact, a lot of the trees in Colorado Springs. You folks from Las Vegas are familiar with Conservation Corps. They built the Hoover Dam.
Hoover Dam.
Yeah. All right, one of our giants is over here on the left. You'll be able to see her nose and her chin. She's looking skyward, and she's not very happy. We call her the Screaming Witch, or the Angry Witch. Oh yeah. Yep, they're climbing. Look at that. That's a great thing.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're climbing the Tower of Babel.
Oh.
Isn't that cool? Good eyes, sir. part of the erosion process here also created the rocks. If you look off to the right, you can see some of those unique formations. It'll be through the trees, but you can see how you get mushroom shapes and ledge work and all of that. That's because this is highly stratified, meaning it comes in layers, and some of those layers are more easily dissolved by erosion, by the weather and wind, than other ones. So you get this real cool ledging and balancing and mushroom sort of shapes throughout here. Now all of this used to be part of an ancient seabed from the original Rockies. This isn't the first Rockies. We had a primordial Rockies or ancient Rockies that were here first, and they got eroded down over a long period of time to create sand dunes and a layer of sand. Over here is the angry Scotsman. You can see his tam or shanter there on top of his head, or a Frenchman with the beret. Now he's going to change into Lord Farquaad from Shrek. We'll get a better view.
Oh,
of
there
that.
he is. Yeah, I
There
see
he
it.
is.
Yeah.
And he's sort of grinning. He's not as angry. So yeah, this was an ancient seabed. And then you may be saying mountain goat. Okay, but we have these rocks that are upright. Well, what happened was when this sand was deposited, the sea rushed in. The whole middle part of Texas, most of Colorado, part of Wyoming, Kansas, Utah, it was all an inland sea for a long, long time. And it compressed all of that sand in layers, of course, down into a black seabed, and eventually became granite. And then the sea receded, and tectonic plates moving in from the east to west lifted up the Rocky Mountains. And over time, this whole area began to erode and expose those upright rocks. And those are called hogbacks, the ones with the ridges that are vertical. Those are called hogbacks. And that's where all of that comes from. And Pikes Peak granite is its own thing. It's a little bit newer granite than what you would get in your kitchen, for instance, in your kitchen counters. And so, yeah, it has that stratification. It's got impurities in it. It's got a lot of feldspar, mica in its composition, and it's got its own Smithsonian display out in Washington, D.C. because it is literally its own thing. And it runs north and south along the Fountain Formation, or the Lions Formation and the Fountains Formations. So this is the same thing. How many people have heard of Red Rock Amphitheater up north where all the concerts are? A couple
Yes,
of you.
we've heard of it.
Yeah, it's the same rock. It runs almost all the way up to Wyoming and down to the actual border down there under Capitol Basin. So we can see some of that ledging here up ahead. Remember I said we had bobcats. Interesting story on this path right over here. I used to also be a runner for quite a few years. When I was out in the garden here putting in some miles, and I ran down that path. At the time it was just a little footpath, and I went around a dogleg, and right there in the middle of the path, a bobcat jumped out of the, he wasn't after me, but he jumped out of a bush there, and I don't know which one of us jumped higher when we saw the other, me or the bobcat. But I do know that we both went in opposite directions rather quickly. And so that's my story about that path, and I'm sticking to it. And Steamboat Rock. Balance Rock is on the right, Steamboat Rock is on the left. You'll see some concrete. That concrete is not there to hold the rock up. No concrete in the world can do that. That is 700 tons worth of rock right there. And you can see that stratification, right? This all used to be one chunk. Who knows when this other chunk fell off, but it used to be one chunk. Go ahead, there you go. Awesome. So you can see that concrete on the bottom. That's encapsulating so that the erosion gets to that before it gets to the rock. So we have to go through and replace that concrete every few years. But it preserves the state of the rock. Okay, this of course is another area where you can free climb without a rope. This whole area down here. Now this all used to belong. Remember I said that the park was pretty much set when it was given to the city. This is the part that was not. This is about 400 acres, and it belonged to the Gerke family. Oh yeah, look over here. This is where you can see where that erosion is really happening. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyway, it belonged to the Gerke. I get excited over the Gerke. So the Gerke family owned this. They had it fenced off, and you could get a picture taken for a quarter on the back of a donkey with a sombrero. Don't ask me the connection there, but yeah. But the Gerkes weren't real detail oriented, and so their fence was actually on Colorado Springs property. And so Colorado Springs asked them over and over again to move it. Finally, they had to take it to court, and they did. And the judge said, "Yeah, it's on Colorado Springs property. Gerkes are going to have to move that." And so they did. They moved it back onto Colorado Springs property. Then Colorado Springs took it to court again, and then they moved it back on Colorado Springs property. And then they took it to court again. Guess where they moved it? Colorado Springs property. They did this 32 times.
Oh, gosh, back and forth.
Finally, the judge, who had heard a lot of the cases, they walked to Academy Riding Stables and rent a horse and a guide over there. This is something that you just don't get tired of.
Huge.
Over to the right, you can see another one of our sleeping giants. And you can see their hair flowing down the northern or the southern part of the rock there. And then see the forehead and the nose and the chin. The hands are kind of laying on this chest. You can see his feet down below him there. That's one of our sleeping giants. And Lord Farquaad is coming up. This is his good side.
I see it. Lord Farquaad.
That's Martin Simpson.
So all these parking places and stuff that you see, they of course are free. Anytime that you feel like coming into the park and you want to go hiking, just find an open parking spot. You are going to be near a trailhead of some sort. We have 22 miles of trail through here, ranging from really very quite easy to medium. We don't have any real hard ones in the park. We have races through here quite often, bike races, foot races, 10Ks, 5Ks. There's a half marathon that includes a leap through here as well. Alright, as proof of the giants walking through here, we have giant footprints over here to the left. Ooh, now you can go home and say you saw a Bigfoot. Looks like both sitting on top or in the Buddha's lap over there. That's another one of the rocks that you can scramble around without getting in trouble. That's Buddha. That's good view of Pikes Peak. And you see that spar on the left side of the peak there? On the very top? That is the visitor center. You can get the world's highest donuts there. You can also see a fish over here to the left on the top of the rock. That, of course, is one of the famous Rocky Mountain rockfish. Looking stonily to the north.
Stonily.
And as we draw along the side of them, I don't know, I see a T-Rex as well. A T-Rex head.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Or a dog.
This one is like a lion hair.
That was mine. Directly ahead of us, the mountain on the very end of this mountain range here. That's Cheyenne Mountain, the one with all the antennas on it. We call that the antenna farm, actually. And Cheyenne Mountain contains the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, which is the second best zoo in the country, first being in Omaha. And it contains Will Rogers' Shrine of the Sun. And it also contains a little military base called NORAD, which is built literally into the side of the mountain. It is a city underground. In the granite, it was built back in the late 50s, early 60s to withstand a direct nuclear hit. So that made growing up in this area rather interesting. It is still a stronghold. That's where they put Vice President Cheney in during 9/11. Keep him safe. And they track all of the satellites and stuff all over the world. And the most important thing they track, of course, is Santa Claus. Yeah. Over to the right, this chained off section over here, that's another popular space. That's called Wedding Rock. Being a city park, you are allowed to get married there. Bring your officiant and you can get married there for free. I have seen lines of people there before. I even officiated a wedding here once, right where that gentleman just climbed up. Now, I mentioned that I taught middle school, and as long as I did it, I, of course, had adult students who would come back and say hi, and one came back and asked me to officiate her wedding, and so that's where we did it, and why would you not? Right? This is called High Point. It is the highest point in the park.
That's Pikes Peak.
That's Pikes Peak. That's a turkey buzzard. Ridgeway Rock over there. If you were to hike over there, you would find a bunch of fossilized shells and stuff from back when this was in the inland sea. And that is called Rattlesnake Ridge. We do have rattlesnakes here. They're prairie rattlesnakes. They're not as aggressive as the diamondbacks that you see on TV. You leave them alone, generally speaking, they'll leave you alone unless you step directly on them. Or we actually had somebody try to pick one up last year. That did not turn out well for that person. And, of course, you know, they had to go to the hospital. They lived, but they'll never do that again. gray rock again from this perspective. You can see some praying hands, right? This was, earlier in the tour at the very beginning, I said we climbed this. This was actually 12, 13 years old. We would come up here. This is actually easier to climb than it looks. We would go up to the top and we'd stand up there, look out over the valley. It was pretty cool. Then we would scooch on our hind ends down, and then where the big tree there, about halfway up, is a little grassy area, and we'd have lunch there. And there's an erosion dip there. It's kind of like a punch bowl. When that fills up with rain and the rainwater stays there long enough, I imagine there's some up there now, it'll hatch some brine shrimp, some freshwater brine shrimp. They get about that big. We always wondered where those came from, right? And in the lower area, the smoother area, that's called Kindergarten Rock, for a few reasons. It is one of the easier areas to climb, but they also have certification classes there for climbing, with ropes. And because it's so popular, because climbing is so popular around here, they'll take kids as young as 5 years old into those classes. Where these people are walking in this meadow here, this is where a lot of the indigenous folks would meet up, and they would trade. They'd spread out their blankets and build their teepees there, and they would have a season of trade. The Ute Indians were they're our home team. They would trade in like beaver pelts and lodgepole pines. Lodgepole pines grow super straight, and if you come cut them down when they're young, they make excellent teepee poles, lodgepoles. And so the folks who were coming in from the Great Plains and down south, who needed that kind of lumber for either lodges or teepees, they would trade for those poles in exchange for like bison pelts, buffalo pelts, and different kinds of rocks and beans.
So where exactly is the property line between the garden and then off?
Right on the other side of Balance Rock.
Okay.
Ano to? 3-4, public?
Time. shit, I can't get it. Zoom in on that. There's Joe up there. Ooh, shit. That burns. That already hurt. That already hurt.
Oh yeah, a second for your glasses to get acclimated.
Yeah. And then this red stuff right here is iron oxide, which is just a fancy word for rust. And this is actually microbial waste, which really blows my mind because it's micro poop. Micro poop, yeah. Yeah. And then this is limonite. This is like a signature of microbial life. So these microbes would have lived here when the hot springs were up here. And the way that they oxidize the iron oxide creates limonite. We didn't really need that to tell us that there's a colony here because we have a mineralized form. We call the brain of our cave, and this is a microbial colony. It lived here when the hot springs were. Yeah. And then if you look towards this stalagmite, that's cave bacon. Anytime you get a sloped ceiling, it creates cave bacon. If they get bigger than 4 inches, they typically call them draperies. If they're small, like this one above my head, they call those ribbons. Ribbons. Yeah, and you see, this is how I like warm my bacon. It's all fat. You see? Yeah, that's just because of a sloped ceiling.
It's 52 degrees all year round, even though it's snowing outside.
My old friend. Just kidding.
I got that reference.
So this green glow and whitish glow, I should say, out there, just because it looks like dirt. They didn't think it was structurally safe enough, and then 2020 happened, COVID. And this is cool. This is cool. Yeah, it's the heart of the cave. It looks cool with the black light, with the regular light. Myself out a little bit, and then you can hear like drops of water. Coming in from that right side, this right side.
It turns red when you like.